Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. My goodness, y'all, I don't know about you, but we are roasting here in North Carolina. Welcome to summertime, right? We are at the end of July. I mean, like the tail end of July, and summer is just performing like summer does. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to do a little walk around the garden just to see how everything is kind of like surviving this heat. I know here in, because we're in Dallas, North Carolina, of course, like just west of Charlotte, like we are breaking records as far as temperatures. So it is warm and toasty. Some plants are doing great, others are struggling. So I'm going to walk through and I want to show you what the messes, successes are in the garden, because I think it's really important for us to share this with one another, especially if you're a new gardener or you're new to a certain plant, because you may be looking at a plant thinking, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I've killed this plant, or it's struggling. What do I need to do? And so we're going to take this opportunity to kind of just walk through and just be two gardeners in the garden, walking through it together and just sharing some information back and forth with you. Now, before we do that, we got a couple of specials for you, because if you've been a gardener for any length of time, you know that summertime in the garden center means that there's going to be some specials. So we've got specials for both our local customers who come here to the garden center. So we've got garden center specials and we have some online specials. Garden center specials first, because I am standing in the appropriate spot. All right, my Creekside people who have been around for some time, you know, we get to this point in the season and all of the perennial hibiscus are going to be buy one, get one free. That's right, buy one, get one free. These are 3-gallon perennial hibiscus that absolutely thrive in the heat and humidity. Talking about messes and successes. Hello, success. The perennial hibiscus love this kind of weather. The hotter it is, the more water they get, the happier they are. So we have got both the summerific hibiscus and we have got some perennial hibiscus from our friends at Walter's Gardens. They come in a host of colors, and y'all, this is not all of them. This is just a small sampling of what we have. But if you are not familiar with those perennial hibiscus, they are a perennial. They're not a shrub, because they will die completely down to the ground in the wintertime. But in the heat of the summer, really starting around kind of like the beginning of July for us, they begin putting on these massive dinner plate size flowers. They come in reds, pinks, whites, creams. And so there are no really true like yellow or true blues. So just kind of keep that in mind. What you're looking at right now is Valentine's Crush. She is a beautiful one. They do love the sun. They can do full sun. And when I say full sun, yes, I mean all day intense hot sun. They absolutely can do that. They also can do at a minimum, I would say 5 hours of sun. So they need at least 5 hours to really put on those beautiful flowers. What is looking insanely good right now, because not only down here, I was driving up at production and I could see them from across the field, is the Edge of Night. Y'all, Edge of Night is one of my absolute favorites, because you have black foliage, near black foliage, right? Very dark foliage, but you have these like iridescent pink flowers where the petals are overlapping. You can see the veining in there. Like, look at the one that's in the sunshine. She is absolutely glowing. This is a beautiful perennial hibiscus that does really well. Now, why are we doing our perennial hibiscus that are 50% off? Well, full disclosure, they desperately need to get out of these pots. They have been grown in these pots. They're a vigorous grower. Their root system grows really fast. This is absolutely a plant that you can buy from the nursery right now, take it home, put it in the ground, make sure it stays nice and watered for the next couple of weeks. She will double in size. This is a plant that wants to get out of the nursery pot and into the ground. It will thrive in the heat and humidity. There are certain plants, but I'd be like a hydrangea, I'm like, yeah, let's wait till it gets a little cooler. These babies, no, they can go in right away. So we have got tons of them. The only one that I know for sure that we're sold out of is the watermelon ruffles. So if you're familiar with watermelon ruffles, to know her is to love her. We are sold out of her, but we have got tons of other options. The Edge of Night, the Cookies and Cream, Lilac Crush, Valentine's Crush, the Berry Awesome. I mean, just tons and tons of them. So buy one, get one free. Come grab them here at the garden center. Now, my online people, because we don't want to leave you out, while I am sold out of perennial hibiscus online, I do have some amazing perennials for you. So let's talk about those. We've got 3 of them that we are going to have 50% off online. You do not need a code. It is automatically marked off for you. So you can just go add them to your cart, and just know, because I think this video is coming out on Wednesday, this week we're not shipping because of the heat. But beginning Monday, so go ahead and place your order today, and then Monday, first of next week, they're going to be on their way to you. As soon as it ships, you will get an email with your FedEx tracking information. So just know that this week, the last week of July, I don't know what Monday is, August, is that 3rd, 4th? I don't have a calendar in front of me, but the first Monday of August, they will be on their way to you. So what we have got some one sun and 2 shade perennials. So first off, we have got this cutie patootie. This is from Proven Winners. This is the Shadowland Hope Springs Eternal. Very, very popular one here at the garden center that we were selling. It is a gorgeous plant, nice kind of those ruffled edges, nice green on the inside, creamy edging on it, and yes, she is blooming. Now, of course, hostas do bloom. A lot of times we'll have fragrant flowers that the hummingbirds love, your pollinators love, but odds are, just so you know, when we ship this to you, we're gonna go ahead and snip that bloom off, because this probably is not going to ship very well, and so we're gonna go ahead and snip that off for you. So your Hope Springs Eternal is 50% off, a fantastic hosta. Now, we get asked, what do I do with these plants when I get them? Should I go ahead and plant them? What do I do? And I would say it all depends on where you live. What is your climate? If it were me, what I would do is I would take this hosta and I would go ahead and move it up to a bigger container, like a 1 gallon, a 2 gallon, make a mixed container. And then come the fall, if I want to add it to the landscape, then I would add it to the landscape this fall. But go ahead and put it in a container. For me, it's easier to control in a container than it is the ground. So that's what I would do on Hope Springs Eternal. Next, we have the Coreopsis. This is going to be your sun one. This is the new series that Designer Threads. We're going to do Golden Needles. Golden Needles, Coreopsis is one of those perennials that absolutely blooms and blooms and blooms and just continuously gives you those gorgeous, really kind of gold, as its name suggests, gold flowers with those red centers. It's going to be 18 to 20 inches tall. It is hardy in zones, let me see, 5 to 9. It's a gorgeous plant. Now, the reason I chose this one to show you is because you may notice that this has been recently pruned, because it will get 20 inches tall, which is too big for our box. So we came in and basically gave it a flat top. So you may get, if you're definitely going to get Golden Needles, it's going to look like this. It's going to have been pruned. But guess what, y'all? We did this a couple, I don't know, week or so ago, and they're already flushing out little buds. So if you get a perennial or a shrub that has been recently pruned, we're doing that, 1, so it will ship well to you, and 2, y'all, it's that time of year. It's the end of July. Some things need to be pruned, right? And it is okay, because when you're buying a perennial and a shrub online, whether you're online or here at the store, and I say this with all the love in my heart for these plants, I'm not really buying the foliage right now. I'm buying that root system. What does the root system look like? And this one, oh my gosh, y'all, I left it, look at that. Those are the roots. This is a very happy plant. So you're gonna take this, when it comes home to you, you're gonna take it out of the box, you're going to give it a drink of water. You're going to go ahead and take it out of this container, go ahead and break up these roots. You can just rip them off, it is fine. Take it out of the container, get something, break up the roots, and go ahead and plant it. This is one that I would absolutely go ahead and plant in the ground. It loves the heat. You can plant it directly in the ground. If you're not getting consistent rain, Give it a drink of water every couple of days for those first few weeks. Get it established, and then all of these little buds that are coming up, along with all the new growth that's going to happen, you're going to start seeing flowers within, I would say, 2 weeks. So you've got golden needles for the full sun garden. Then we have one more for the shade. We have got a pulmonaria. This is Trevi Fountain, and Trevi Fountain is very popular. This comes from our friends at Terra Nova. It is a beautiful one. Now, I picked this one because I want to show you some things. Now, before we ship it to you, we're going to take these leaves and we're going to take them off. So we're going to clean it up. If you happen to get a plant that has some of these leaves, y'all, they just pull off. It's okay. Even in the landscape, these plants do this, right? They're continuously putting out new growth, and the old plants, the old leaves rather, are going to go away. So we're cleaning it up. I'm going to do that for you before it comes to you, but we're cleaning it up. There you go. Now, you might notice that some of your leaves are less than perfect. Again, I say, it is the end of July in North Carolina. These babies have been in the pots since January, February, and they're ready to get out, okay? So even in the landscape, you're gonna notice that some of your leaves are less than perfect. Now, if you're in a beautiful, cool climate, you may not have that problem. Here where we are, the heat and humidity gets to us, and you're gonna get some leaves that look a little rough. It's okay, it's fine. How do I know it's fine? Because look right here. We've got new growth coming. These plants are very healthy, very happy. They just have some tired leaves. Do you not get tired in the summer? I get tired in the summer, so does the plant. But it's pushing out new growth. Now, I did try to loosen this up. Here we go. All right, look at those root systems. When you get this, you can, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to put it in the landscape, put it in the landscape. If you want to pot it up, pot it up. But take those roots, break them up so they're a little bit more free, and plant them. You're going to see great growth. This is a shade plant. Trevi Fountain is going to be about, let me see it, about 11 inches tall, 2.5 feet wide, hardy in zones 4 to 9. Now, if you are in a zone 4, you can put this in full sun. If you're in a zone 7B, 8, 9, definitely needs shade. Put it in the morning sun, afternoon shade. So there you go. Those 3 perennials, Trevi Fountain, Golden Needles, and Hope Springs Eternal, online, 50% off while supplies last. So head over there and we will send them to you. All right, so speaking of what looks good, what's going on in the garden? Well, we're standing right here. This is the time of season, as we have told you before, that certain perennials love the heat. This is all of those perennial sedums. Y'all look at them. This is the Rock and Glow Coral Jade. She is getting ready to bloom. Sedums love the heat. They love it dry. It is going to be a beautiful creamy white with a little bit of those pink undertones. It's stunning. You want to pair it with something that's darker, then you've got the Nightlight. Nightlight is going to be near black foliage. Now you say, now Jenny, is near black, this is green. Yes, we're in a greenhouse, so there's some UV protectant. This is why this is not black. It will turn black once it gets the full UV light. And I want to say that this has clusters of light yellow flowers. And then here we go, the back in black. So another beautiful, great sedum. These are ones that thrive in those late summer gardens, along with your Heliopsis. Heliopsis is that false sunflower. This is Tuscan Gold. Mine at the house is stunning. She would be prettier if the rabbits would stop chewing it, but Heliopsis is so funny. They're choosing specific ones. They clearly love one plant, the Tuscan Gold, over the others. I don't know why. But anyway, I digress. So Tuscan Gold, gorgeous, beautiful foliage on it. There is not only the foliage is pretty, but you've got, of course, those beautiful bright yellow flowers. Love this. So that is doing really well in the garden as well. Moving along, let's head over really quick to the signature garden, because it is, I was trying to get out here earlier, but life of a small business owner, so we had a couple of little things we had to do this morning, so I didn't get out here quite as early as I wanted. The butterflies are quite prolific this morning. But heading over to the signature garden because I wanted to share with you when we were over here, maybe it was the last time we were at the garden center, we shared that we were cutting back the saffron finch, and I'm happy to say that she is doing well. Even with all this heat and humidity we've had, crazy high temperatures, it is coming back and doing well. It's not nearly as beautiful, perfect per se as it was earlier in the season, but she's coming back really well. So if your super petunias are struggling, y'all don't be afraid to prune them. And then let's just look at those little lime punches. Are they not so much fun? Doing a great job. We've got starting to get a little bit of different color on them. Of course, these are a panicle hydrangea. They love the sun. They bloom every year. So this is a new bloom. See how this is nice and creamy, and it has that kind of still opening up right here, nice and tight. And then you've got some older blooms here that are starting to take on those kind of pink mauve hues. They are not going to turn the big punch color that if we were in Michigan, right? So you're going to get a little bit of the pink hue to it, but not the big, huge, bold color that other colder climates get. And then also, so just to share with you, if you notice your panicles doing this, right? So maybe you have a couple of the blooms that are turning black. Y'all, is perfectly normal. You can come in here and just snip that off just a little bit because this is due to that heat and humidity. It's been crazy hot. So yes, some of your blooms may burn, but look y'all, there's a brand new bud right here and another one right here. So they're gonna keep on blooming. And so if you want to trim your panicles, you absolutely can do that. The best way to trim a panicle, in my opinion, is when the flowers are still pretty, go out and cut some bouquets. Cut those bouquets, bring them in. You're pruning the plant without maybe the way we think we're actually pruning the plant. And so, of course, that is, like I said, the hibiscus season, those perennial phlox. This is that prismatic pink. Look at that. Just beautiful. I love it. Absolutely gorgeous. Your daylilies, they may be showing some signs of some struggle. Go ahead and you can come through and you can deadhead them. You might notice you might be getting some yellow leaves. If you want, you can do this. It's totally up to you. But you can take your daylily foliage and you can completely shear it to the ground. I'm talking about scalp it. Take it back, take all of that foliage off. It is going to reflush with new growth. It is not going to flower again, but you're going to have really pretty green foliage. So that's one way. If the look of the daylily drives you insane, just go ahead and cut it all the way to the ground. It will reflush with beautiful green growth, and it will be very much more attractive, even though it's not going to be flowering. Quick little update here at the interior of the garden. So we have that Air Magica purple heliotrope. You've got the Color Blaze Mini Me Chartreuse. You've got the salvias. Can y'all see all of those bees? Like bees and butterflies galore. I have got pollinators of all shapes and sizes. This is the Rockin' Playin' the Blues. I mean, covered. This is why we plant salvia, especially that annual salvia, because look how this whole bed is just one mass together. So, of course, when we were planting it, we put the tall stuff in the middle, and then we work our way down. The Angelonia is looking great. This is that Angel Face Wedgwood Pink, which is a fun bicolor. So you get that pink and white doing really well, doing what I wanted it to. The two are mixing together. And then we have got the Sunstar Pink, Sunstar Rose pentas. And so they are growing. They took a little bit of time to get here, but they are slowly coming around. They love the heat and the humidity. I don't know if you can see right here on the corner, there's a yellow swallowtail on that penta. The butterflies love pentas. And so she is going to town. Can you see her? I say her. I don't know if it's a male or a female. But your butterflies love the pentas. Pentas love the heat and the humidity. They do really well here in these climates where it's just miserable for the rest of us. But your butterflies love them. I mean, y'all, I could not have asked for a better timing on that, right? But yeah, everything is doing well here. Let's see. let's see if we can find some messes. Okay, let's go over here because I'm all about keeping it real with you. Oh, before I get to a different mess, let's look at this, double play doozy. So double play doozy spirea is going to be that reblooming spirea. It is sterile. So because it doesn't produce seed, it's constantly putting out new growth. So new growth means new flowers. It's not as massive and showy as it is in the spring, but you still get those beautiful flowers on them. So they are doing really well. A little tip for your Monardas. So this is the lavender taffeta Monarda bee balm, right? Another great perennial that your pollinators, your butterflies love. Now you can see that we've got these seed heads here. If we go ahead, you could come in here and shear this back by half. We could easily get a reflush of blooms. So the great thing about Monarda bee balm is that your pollinators love it. The Japanese beetles don't like it really. You can see that the foliage looks great on it. But if you do shear it back, then you're going to get that reflush of flowers. Again, maybe not as strong as the initial flush, but you're definitely going to get those flowers to come back. So there you go. Oh, this makes my heart happy. Favorite flower, right? Maybe not necessarily my favorite plant of all time, because she can be a diva sometimes, but my favorite flower, y'all know what it is? That's right, gardenias. So we have got some pillow talks right here. Y'all, look at them. Doing fantastic. So we've got 3 right here. You can see those beautiful double flowers, the double bloom, right? Of course, she smells just insanely delicious. So there you go, beautiful flower. But these plants are doing great. Oh, she smells so good. So doing really well right here. And of course, if I find a gardenia, she's going in my ear. That's right. Going through the garden. Okay, okay, let's talk about phlox for a second, y'all. Your perennial phlox. Because perennial phlox, while I love and adore it, she has her problems sometimes, let's just say that. Especially if you have like us, the humidity. Okay, so perennial phlox, a lot of times for us, almost inevitably will get powdery mildew, right? It gets the powdery mildew, she looks terrible, she looks awful, she's sick, she's tired, and you're like, why am I doing this? Okay, little tip. 1, you're not alone, right? Even professional gardeners in a display garden, we struggle with it too. All right, best tip I can give you is when that happens, if your phlox gets that powdery mildew, shear it to the ground, okay? Shear it to the ground, take that foliage that has the mildew, put it in a trash can, throw it away. You don't want to compost that. This is what's going to happen. So this is the opening act, one of them, I don't know which one exactly this is, but this is what happens. Minus the weed, because yes, even display gardens get weeds, so we're going to come here and take that out. But you see how we've got this nice, tight, very clean foliage. So there is not powdery mildew on it. Beautiful foliage. It is starting to flower again. So if your phlox, whether it is the panicle phlox, it is a mid phlox, whatever it is, go ahead, shear it back, and it's going to reflush and be beautiful, healthy foliage, because just trust me, you're not the only one that is struggling with that. Oh, we've got a clematis that's blooming. Okay, I thought this was going to be a struggle because the gardener hasn't done what she needs to do, but she's rocking it out anyway. So here we have, y'all, look at this cutie patootie clematis. So this sweet clematis, the name just literally went out of my brain. We'll find, not pink mink. I'll figure it out. Just give me a second. So this clematis is more like a bush clematis, okay? And so what she does is she can climb, and the plan was that she would kind of climb into the loropetalum and the baptisia. Really hasn't done that very well, but she's reblooming. So she's gotten kind of floppy. So you can see right here, all this dead, like yucky foliage. Come in there and just shear it back, just cut it back. So look, she's reflushed with her sweet, they remind me of like a little fairy hat. So if you imagine a fairy, a little garden fairy, this would be her little hat that she would wear. Super stinking cute. And so even in July, we have a clematis that is reblooming, which is absolutely amazing. And I want to say that this clematis is rated to like zone 7 or 8. So that she's doing this time of year is unbelievable. And it's driving me crazy that I can't remember the name. Oh, I'll have to find it, y'all. Either that or it'll Stand By Me. Ha! Stand By Me. Stand By Me pink. There we go. I knew it would come to me at some point. There you go. The campfire marshmallows, look how good they're doing. I really wasn't sure how well they were going to do, but man, they are doing great. Of course, these are annuals and sweet little daisy-like flowers. Typically, the Bidens don't really sometimes do well in the heat, but man, they are rocking it out and doing great, as is the viburnum, all that glitters and glows. So this is the male and the female plant all in one. You can just have one plant and you're still going to get flowers and you're still going to get berries. So these little berries, they were the white flowers in the spring. They're now turning into berries and they're going to be blue. So they're going to have a lovely blue color to them. So love this viburnum. It'll get 4 to 5 feet tall and wide. It is deciduous. So there you go. All right, let's come over here because one that's in the shade and Jenny's starting to glisten quite heavily. But I want to give you an update on this bed. So a little bit of a word of encouragement. Thinking of next year, if you have areas in your garden that are not irrigated, right? Maybe they're a bit out of the way. Maybe you have zero irrigation in your garden. Plenty of people, my mama, she has zero irrigation. But you want to have annual color. You want to have that big pop of color. My biggest recommendation to you is if you don't have irrigation and you want that color, amend your soil really well, good compost. We use the Ultra Outdoor Planting Mix from Black Gold. Plant early in the season so that those roots have plenty of time to get established before this crazy heat hits, and then mulch. Those are my top 3. Amend, plant early, mulch, and you could have this. Y'all, when I tell you that this is on zero irrigation, if we did hand water it, it may have been like one time, and that is it. But we amended this, we planted these early, and it was heavily mulched because you want those root systems to get really well established before the heat hits. The mulch, of course, is going to keep the weeds down and insulate the roots and hold in any kind of moisture. So what do we have? We have sun patience. I want to say this is like the orchid blush. It's the orchid something. We have butterflies all over the place. More of those sweet little yellow swallowtails. We've got more of the salvia because we had that and tie it into the formal part of the signature garden. So this is that rockin' playing the blues, of course, that those butterflies and pollinators are loving. We've got Senorita Blanca in the back. That's a whole ribbon that goes through here. So we have got that. We have got coming this way, we planted this year the Tough Stuff hydrangeas. So we had a ton of Tough Stuffs left over from years of inventory. So this is all Tough Stuff hydrangeas. A lot of them were root bound. They didn't look good. They were rough looking, but I am happy to say, look at this beautiful foliage. These are a serrata, a lace cap, beautiful, nice, happy foliage, new growth. Do they have some spots on them? They sure do. Perfectly normal to have that here in the South at the end of July. So if you've got hydrangeas that have those black spots on them, y'all, it's perfectly normal. It's okay. It is not going to kill the plant. It makes it look unsightly, but I promise it will bounce back next spring and be very, very happy. So these are doing great. Love that. More of the Mini-Me chartreuse. I mean, could you ask for a better plant? I don't think so. Amazing. We've never deadheaded this, pinched it back, nothing. I see 2 blooms. That's why we love the color blazes, because they really don't bloom. You don't want your coleus to bloom. So very few blooms on that. And then, yeah, some of the struggles. You've got the double up pink. those double up pink begonias. Most part, this is probably the side that gets maybe a little bit more sun, and you can see a couple of those. Yeah, they're struggling a little bit. We come over here to the other side, a little bit more shaded. From a distance, they look good, right? Not gonna lie. And there's a couple in here that are absolutely beautiful and look great. And then you can come next door and you've got a begonia tree. So y'all, we all struggle with the same things. It is okay. It is the end of July. August is knocking on the door. We are definitely in the hottest part of the season. So it is okay. One other little side point that I want to give you is if you have shrubs, trees that have dark foliage, for example, the Midnight Express Redbud. So that's what this is. And it is a near black foliage, right? So it has deep, deep burgundy, right? So that's a new leaf on it. So it's really, really dark. But if you come over here, these are basically green. So when I was at Cultivate and I was talking to my buddy Jim Putnam, every time I talk to Jim, I learn something new. So your dark foliage plants, your loropetalums, your redbuds, even some of your smoke bushes, your durvillas, if they're black, as the summer goes on, they'll start to turn green. It's because the temperatures are so high, and this is very like basic, y'all. The temperatures get so high that the plant cannot produce the sugars to make the dark coloring. So it's nothing that you're doing. It is a season. My redbud at the house has done it every year. I just figured it was because of the heat. I didn't really know why. Just knew it was because of the heat. Turns out the plant cannot produce the sugars that it needs to turn the foliage black. So there you go. Just one of those things, you just let it be. So hopefully this has been a little bit encouraging. Messes and successes here at the garden center with the plant specials come out, because whether you're coming to get those perennial hibiscus or you're shopping online, it is while supplies last, because we are dwindling down out of inventory for this season. Obviously next year we'll have a fresh new stock for you, but take advantage of those deals because this is a great time to take those plants. Even if you're not ready to plant them, go ahead, save some money, get the plants, put them in your stash. Y'all, I got stashes everywhere. It is fine. And then just hang on to them, because we're gonna work smarter, not harder at the end of the season, end of July rather, here in North Carolina. So hope you have found this fun, informative, inspirational. If you do, we would love it if you would like and subscribe. That would be amazing. That way you don't miss those 5 videos that we do each and every week. This gardenia smells amazing. I'll just say it definitely is making me smell better here in the July garden. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.